Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Remember, this is your most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. We want to have a look at all that is taking place in this country and bring you up to date with comprehensive analysis of the same. This fine morning, I'm joined here by Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
I'm always good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I want us to look at what is taking place within the city. The governor is getting kicked from all quarters of the political divide. Of course, we've had the kind of campaign against him, so to say, by Embakasi East Member of Parliament, of course, Babu Wino, saying here that he's not fit to be the governor of this particular county. We've also seen Robert Alai, the Kileleshwa MCA, also poke into this conversation. And of course, the most recent attack on the governor came from his own backyard party. Of course, they're led by John Kiarie, the MP for Dagoretti South. What do you think is actually taking place here? Are we witnessing some sort of a governance crisis, or it's just mere politics at play?
You know, this is a powerful seat. Mm-hmm. I think governor of Nairobi is just below the president of the country. Mm-hmm. So everybody will want it. Babu Wino wants it. Kiarie and Alai have an idea of who should take over from Sakaja. Mm-hmm. There's Tim Wanyonyi. And again, the governor sort of invites all these things by the way he's conducting himself. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Okay. Now, then this actually now brings us into brings us into a lot of questioning here, because one, look at the kind of actually the tribal arithmetic within the city. Do you think that this actually could perhaps play a card in determining who becomes the governor of the county, and could it also work in terms of retaining that particular governor? Because ever since the advent of devolution, we are here in Nairobi, we've never had a governor who has served full, maybe 2 terms in office.
And more than that, you know, we have had abnormal elections for governor in Nairobi. Mm-hmm. Abnormal in the sense that politics has not been allowed to run its full course. Mm-hmm. And its own course. There has been high-level manipulation. Mm-hmm. So look at 2022, for example, the most recent. Mm-hmm. The man people had thought was going to be the governor was Tim Wanyonyi. Mm-hmm. But because of Uhuru's working because Uhuru was working with Raila, mm-hmm. then the thinking was simple. We are Kikuyus, we want to make you president. How can you also have Nairobi? So Raila had sort of given and kind of sacrificed Tim Wanyonyi. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying it was not normal. It's kind of abnormal. Mm-hmm. They gathered, they brought to represent the Kikuyu interest. Didn't quite fit the bill. Mm-hmm. So, you understand? That's why I see a situation where none of these people who are currently making noise about Nairobi mm-hmm. stand a very good chance. Neither Babu Wino, nor Tim Wanyonyi, nor Sakaja himself, nor anybody being fronted by these other people. Mm-hmm. I am thinking for the first time in 2027, and again you can go back to 2017 and 2013, uh-huh. you'll see those kind of things, forced arrangements, where Kidero came in the manner he came in, mm-hmm. where Babayao also, you know, again, the way Babayao came. Mm-hmm. If you look, all these were forced arrangements with people being forced, Margaret Wanjiro do this, so and so do this, less one. But I'm seeing 2027 mm-hmm. as a very natural, free of manipulation election. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, if that is going to be the case, and I suspect now where I sit, mm-hmm. this is going to be the case, a strong Kikuyu person will take this election, this thing. Mm-hmm. Natural. Kikuyu has never been governor from the inception of this arrangement in 2013, mm-hmm. 2017, 2022. Mm-hmm. Take it to the bank. 2027, it will be a mountain person. So it's just a question of who will this mountain person, a credible Kikuyu candidate coming up this time without compromises now on team, Sakaja, Babu Wino. The three come from the same catchment area, the same political zone, appealing to the same constituency. Tell me how they can beat a Kikuyu candidate. Did I hear there were people?
Haven't we had credible and formidable Kikuyu candidates in the gubernatorial race in Nairobi County before?
I am telling you, we did not have a natural arrangement where people stand. Tim Wanyonyi was the most popular in the last election.
So who tells you
he didn't stand for governor?
Who tells you that the same round we would have that natural arrangement that you're
No, I'm saying from the way I'm seeing things playing out, I'm not seeing somebody supporting Sakaja that strongly. Okay? And I'm not seeing Raila, for example, supporting Babu Wino. This, I think, even Babu Wino himself knows. I'm seeing Raila perhaps being forced to support the most natural person in Azimio, who is Tim Wanyonyi. But I'm seeing these three now sharing votes from the same side of the PNU versus ODM. It has been played all along now. Last time it was Azimio versus, with a little tinkering here of one or two things because of the Azimio, the Kikuyu element within Azimio last time. Okay. But majorly there are always two sides. So this one side is going to have their votes shared between Team Sakaja and Babu Wino, leaving the door quite open for a Kikuyu candidate, especially if that Kikuyu candidate is not just Kikuyu but is formidable, is not just formidable, but is not trying to play within the arrangement of UDA. That candidate must be aligned to Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeah. And there have been a number of people, there are a number of them there. Last time when there was expected to be a by-election, you remember that the sarcasm of this lady, what was she, Kananu, that sarcasm. Obviously, Kananu was not supposed, it was supposed, there was a vacancy for governor, you know that. But games were played, the usual game, Kenyan games, and there was no by-election. If there was going to be a by-election, just look at those names. Dennis Waweru, there was Agnes Kagure, there was, I'm looking at the Jubilee side, Dennis Waweru, Agnes Kagure. There's another one I'm forgetting. There's another one I'm forgetting. Especially those who remained loyal, like Dennis Waweru, to the Uhuru side. Any one of those people, if they strategize their campaign well today, that is your next governor of Nairobi.
Sure.
I'm 100% sure.
Talk to me about the possibility of Sakaja reclaiming his seat in 2027. With of course, the reality of no one having ever served 2 terms in this particular county.
It doesn't even have to be that. Just that he will not make it. He has missed his chance. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding Sakaja. I can't see him surviving the controversies up to 2027. Secondly, he has not run the city even to half the expectation. Even Kidero, I read somewhere, I think on Twitter, even Kidero with all his flaws. I think you've seen that tweet.
Yeah, I've seen that tweet by
Even Kidero with all his flaws was far better than Sakaja. Even Sonko with his sarcasm and everything, you can't compare Sonko to Sakaja. It's far ahead of Sakaja. At least Sonko was doing things. Even Badi. There's so much that Badi did. We may blame him for many other things, but there's evidence of the body work. You can blame Sonko for many things, but you can go around Nairobi and say Sonko here, Sonko there, Sonko here. You can say Kidero was bad, but the guy who automated many of the things in the city and revenue collection moved up into the skies. I'm not associating Sakaja with anything. It's synonymous with everything that is wrong. You know, including the simple things like cutting trees. including looking the other way, if not supporting developers in overcrowded places like Leleshwa, ignoring planning and now coming up unilaterally, so-called consulted the president for limitless flows up there and knowing what Nairobi sits on. It's not a decision you can make without experts. A Chinese is going to come here and build up a 80-story building. Okay, I'm just dreaming a bit. And you have 10 of those because the Chinese will come and do it and sell very cheaply. 2 million, 40-storied, 35-storied, 60-storied, 50-storied, 1.8 million. And people will buy. But where does Nairobi sit on? Would those structures withstand even a small earthquake? So Sakaja cannot tell people, I consulted the president, and as I walked out, I'm telling Nairobi people, you can now go as many floors. There's no limit to how many floors. So then I'm saying that Sakaja has been erratic. There was so much expectations. People thought, because Sakaja is a very eloquent person, he looks very promising. Me, I'm not bothered about these certificates people are talking about, he doesn't have or what. But just looking at the person. So Sakaja can only choose to fail. He has what it takes to run this city to its best. So he can only choose to fail. And I think he has chosen to fail. For that reason, I don't give him much chance in 2027. Yes.
What should have you done differently? Because you say we've seen a number of corruption cases involving most of the governors of course, different counties, but then Nairobi County, he is one of them here that has been having those cases. Now, just make me understand this. You are not sure. Make me just understand this. You're not sure whether you're going to go in there for a second time. Do you think this could actually propel some of these scandals that we're witnessing around?
Yes, and just normal greed. Every Kenyan think, I'm not saying he's like that, but every Kenyan, you give him a position, they think the time he was staying in Buruburu, they have to go to Karen.
Okay.
After they get to Karen, they think they must own a home in Mombasa. When they wake up in the morning, they can take breakfast with their feet in the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
And after that, they think they need a house in Dubai. They could even go to Beverly Hills in the US. And so that is a Kenyan problem. And I don't blame anybody. That's how they think life should be lived. They think money is everything. So that could be it. Again, what you are saying, because saying that I may not be re-elected because of a number of factors that I'm alive to, can also send somebody into that kind of spree.
Okay.
But you see, like the corruption. Look at what Donald Kipkorir was tweeting about. I remember retweeting something on it. Tweeting on X, quoting on X. Whether he says they owe him lots of money, and they told him, please, give us 50% of what we owe you, and we pay you the remaining. And Donald Kipkorir says, not me, over my dead body. I'm not going to budge, just pay me my money. So, and I've had many such stories. Donald Kipkorir is just one of the stories. I've had many such stories. Whether they are true or not is another story. But there are too many not to have some element of truth in them. That when you go and ask for your payment, there are people there asking for their cut, a big cut.
Okay.
Almost you share in the middle, like Donald Kipkorir was saying, is 50%. So those are some of the things the governor could do something about. Because if there's money to pay debts, so-called pending bills, the best way to avoid corruption is just to have a clear timetable of payment. Categorize the debts, put timelines on them, and put budgeted allocations on them, and then automate.
Okay.
Don't come to ask for your payment, because finally, at the final stage, it will not be approved because it's not programmed for payment in the next 6 months. The final stage where the money has to go, it won't go. Automated. So he has not done that. And therefore, you leave it to these wheeler dealers at City Hall to harass people like Kipkorir who are looking for their money.
Okay. I want us to look at the party factor as well, because the position of the Nairobi governor is currently held by the UDA party.
Yes.
Of course, Sakaja is there. He's set his eyes on becoming the Nairobi County UDA chairman, of course, there is another person from the mountain who's also salivating for that particular seat, so to say. But yet, do you think that perhaps he would actually clinch that particular seat? And if at all he got it, do you think it would actually propel him, rather increase? How would it actually work against him in terms of his chances in 2027?
You know, whether he became UDA chair or not, nothing can save him. He will not be governor in Nairobi in 2020. I've told you a governor of Nairobi will be a Kikuyu.
So you're saying
take it to the bank.
For Sakaja, it's done? It's
done. It'll be a Kikuyu allied to Uhuru Kenyatta. That one you can take to the bank. But in terms of being the chair of Nairobi UDA, it depends on how the elections are conducted. Is it left to the rank and file? Or is it something that will be a boardroom decision, man, so that the people queuing up is just a formality? Okay. If it is from high up there, then Sakaja will have no chance. Why? The people of the mountain, Gachagua, they are feeling they assisted Ruto without any conditions. Other people put conditions. Mudavadi came with conditions. Wetangula came. Kingi, Mutua. Some of them brought nothing. But because they entered with the conditions, they benefited. The Mount Kenya people, apart from getting the running position and now the deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, they are saying we are hearing them. We are hearing mamas, loud mamas. If they had put conditions, they would have gained more than just Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president. You get it? What they got, they don't think is commensurate with their contribution to the victory. And therefore, some of the things, some of the demands are things like now. They cannot allow anybody to have Nairobi UDA. Okay. Obvious, they will demand. They will even tell Ruto, leave this one. So you don't see Sakaja? It will be again the UDA chair will be a Kikuyu, and people like J.K. Kiarie are going to determine who becomes the UDA chair, and not Sakaja. It will be determined by the Kaguya. Is it called Kaguya or something like that? Determined by people like UDA as J. What do you call him? J.K. Yeah. Kiarie.
John Kiarie.
That's the Great South MP.
The Great South Member of Parliament.
Yes, and a few other members of Parliament from Mount Kenya in Nairobi, and other political and business leaders from Mount Kenya in Nairobi. They will decide who becomes the UDA. Okay. And that is, I'm telling you, the UDA chair will be a Kikuyu. The Nairobi governor in 2027 will be a Kikuyu.
But you're saying allied to?
The governor will be allied to Uhuru Kenyatta.
So you're saying
because
Uhuru Kenyatta still has a lot of
because Ruto will have a problem with not supporting somebody like Sakaja.
Okay.
To succumb to the pressure from Mount Kenya to remove who? Sakaja. Okay. It'll be a little tricky for them. Don't you see? So for Ruto, the best approach will be may the best man win. Okay. Because if he were to listen to Gachagua or the Mount Kenya people and throw Sakaja under the bus, it will not paint him in good light. Okay. Remember, it's not the done thing. It's never the done thing for a governor defending his second term, a president defending his second term, to be removed by the party. So how will UDA remove Sakaja without leaving egg on their face? So they are stuck with Sakaja, an unsellable product. You see how it will work? I know Mount Kenya will try. Mount Kenya will try their best to remove Sakaja and give the ticket to a Kikuyu. But it will be very dangerous for Ruto, so he will not agree. Now the Kikuyu in Jubilee will benefit from that, because these Mount Kenya people will end up voting for this Jubilee or whatever Uhuru allied candidate. Yeah.
Okay. You talked to me about, of course, your last sentiment on Babu Owino. You're saying he's got only a chance, that is, if at all Raila supports him. Is that what you still?
You see, for Raila to support Babu, it will be the biggest betrayal.
So again, you're saying here that
because you see how people felt when Raila prevailed upon Team Wanyonyi not to stand. That's why Sakaja also won.
So naturally, you expect Raila to support Team Wanyonyi.
That's the natural thing to do. And like Ruto, he may do it knowing very well he's losing.
So what if Raila goes ahead and does that, supports Team Wanyonyi, leaves Babu Owino behind? And
Yes,
then,
Babu Owino still stand on his own. I don't think Babu Owino has been under any illusion that Raila will support him. No, it doesn't. It's not possible. That arrangement.
So
is
he's
not
alive to the Team Wanyonyi.
He must be. I'm not saying he must be alive to the fact that Raila is supporting Team Wanyonyi, and he will be on his own. If he doesn't choose to be a running mate because he's young. And this is how politics is. Although, if he became running mate to Akikuyu, his community will see this as a sign of betrayal.
Okay.
If he runs on his own, he stands a chance. Because the war then will be between him and that Kikuyu candidate. So you see, there's always a chance between Babu Owino and the Kikuyu candidate. So again, for the Kikuyus, allied to Uhuru Kenyatta, they have to bring a very formidable candidate. Yeah.
Okay. Let's wait and see how the city politics actually unfolds way going forward. But of course, right now, the governor, as I mentioned at the beginning, is that he's getting kicked from all corners, be it Azimio, be it UDA, of course, his colleagues therein. They are saying that he's heavily incompetent for now. Well, let's wait and see whether that will actually work again. So for him in the long term, as we focus ahead and look at some of the possible lineups towards the 2027 general elections, allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment. But of course, if at all you're watching us for the first time, subscribe to this channel and stay tuned. We'll keep you updated with all of that is taking place in this country and across the globe. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans. Okay.